Yeah.
Man, speaking of trades, you guys seen Gabrielle Union and Boozy trade?
Oh,
some
my
comments,
exchange of words.
Oh, my
goodness.
Gabrielle.
I thought you was going the other one, but let's get it.
Oh, Jet, you're tripping, bro. You're
All the
trash.
trades, like,
Of all the trades, you don't want to talk about your girl?
Oh,
You don't want to talk about your girl?
Oh,
No, let's get into that first. I'm with that. Let's talk about the WNBA star with the biggest trade of her career. She has returned from Russia. Home
the biggest trade of the WNBA's career.
That's a fact. Don't act stupid. I don't act.
That's the most
Big
popular
money
WNBA trade
trades.
ever, bro.
Bro, oh my God. This
Brittney
shit.
Griner. Let's talk about it.
But let's really talk about Victor Bout is home. Or Boot.
No. We can't clap for it.
Yeah,
Welcome home. Welcome home. Why can't we be happy for both parties? Brittney's home. Victor Boot is home. He could get right back to work.
Maybe if I lived in Russia, I'd probably be a little hyped.
Oh, God.
No,
like, okay, Ukraine is fucking shriveling right now. They're
Hey,
like,
I
oh,
stand with
shit.
my Ukrainian friends, all right? I got more Ukrainian friends than Russian friends. And
My
I
homie got a
stand with
Ukrainian
the
girlfriend.
Let's go. She's feeling a little under the weather because
The
of
bombs?
this trade.
Bro.
I was going to say the bombs?
Bro,
the
his
gunfire?
Ukrainian girlfriend was supposed to come to dinner. Now
Yeah.
it's turning. She fell under the weather. So keep put it together. It's because this motherfucker is now let loose in Russia.
The merchant
that makes
of
sense.
death.
Let's talk about
So
it.
Sakib, you're the one I really want to hear from because you had a lot to say about Brittney's possible release, and now I want to hear that same energy from you, or I want to see you realize the error of your ways. One or the other.
We are a fucking joke. This Joe
You're a
Biden,
comedian. You
you
like
are
jokes.
a joke, son.
You like jokes.
Exactly. It's so funny to see this type of shit happen because when we got people like what's his name,
But
Mark.
you're mad though.
Hell yeah, I'm fucking up.
But you said it's
You're
a
not
joke.
mad.
You're mad
You're not
though.
mad
Oh
at all.
my God!
You're punching
I'm
your
still,
pillow, buddy.
I'm still annoyed, bro. Like,
Get over
Brittney
it.
Griner. If she wasn't an NBA star, if she wasn't big in pop culture, if she didn't have this giant, if she wasn't a giant public figure, she would have never came home. Because if you look at the teacher, what's his name, Mark Fogel, caught with 17 grams of weed back way before Brittney Griner, is now serving 14 years in prison. How is she ahead of the pack before this guy comes home? Or if a teacher's not a good enough example.
And is he the one that was a previous Marine?
No.
Sorry.
Paul, I was just about to bring him
Sorry.
up. Come on,
Sue me.
bro.
Sue me. Paul Whalen.
Yo, they should have traded Joe ass.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Why we laughing? Let me just goddamn.
All right, come in right now.
Y'all laughing, but this shit not a game. Y'all last place. We in the Hall of Fame. Don't fucking look at me like that, dude. Go on with your little point.
Bro. Okay, so if you don't care enough about the teacher, he made a mistake. He should be over there, even though he had medical marijuana. Whatever. He's gone.
Okay, he was bullshitting with that whole medical marijuana thing. though.
A Marine, Mr. Paul Whelan, in 2018 got arrested for espionage. The Russians believe that he was an American spy.
Yeah.
Americans say that those are false claims. This guy is serving 16 years in prison. How is he not bumped up in front of the girl who snuck in cannabis oils?
Is he lesbian?
Bro, no.
Okay. Okay.
Bro.
What are you talking about? Can he shoot a basketball?
Trump made a good point.
Can he dunk?
No, he cannot.
Okay, then that's why he's still inside of a Russian prison.
He can shoot bullets. Yeah, we need that on our side, right?
If he can't dribble and cross over and shoot a basketball, we don't need him.
Bro,
This is America. Okay.
But look.
Okay.
Trump made this point about Brittney Griner. They're like, okay, you're going to bring back somebody who doesn't even love America like that. This Marine right here, he loves America. Bring his ass back. We're giving up the worst trade ever. We could have got 3 for 1 because
To be honest, they should have tried to get
the
that.
merchant of death is way more significant than one of those people. Because this guy could come back, he could bomb anything he wants. He got the plugs. He could do anything he wants.
Yeah.
Why the fuck did we just get a woman who dunks in the NBA back? Like,
We got a U.S. citizen back,
social.
you jackass. We should get all 3 of them back.
I bet if Trump was president, she would have never came back.
Or no, Trump would have got all 3 out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Trump,
okay.
Trump
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure would have got all 3
Trump
out.
would have let his nuts hang. He said, "You know that button? I just popped the seal on that motherfucker. Y'all want to play? Get his ass out of here. You send us all 3. That's fair because they not doing shit. They are not an asset to the country. No 3 of them. The Marine, Brittney Griner and the teacher, they're not even really an asset to the nation like that. Not like this fucking arms dealer that's actually going to be able to help y'all with the bullshit y'all got going on.
Especially at a time like this.
I heard a different perspective about the arms dealer, and it was the fact that he's wanted internationally. So it's not just America or a lot of the countries want his ass. So even though he's getting released back to Russia, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's free. You feel me? Putin's going to look out for him probably, right? And I heard somebody say, "Oh, but maybe Putin doesn't want to leave like a bad mark on the world scale, right? Because it's like you can't just let an arms dealer who's internationally wanted just go back and then live life freely. You know what I mean? But it's like this is Putin. He's crazy. Like, we don't know what's going to happen with this.
Okay, since he's wanted internationally, maybe all these other countries had him or wanted him, and America had him, and they probably wanted him to do some shit. Yeah. But he wasn't down with it. So him going back to Russia, maybe he's closer to Putin, which might allow him to be in good graces in the sense of like moving, I guess, weaponry, but I don't know. It was just speculation. But yeah.
There he goes. How many minutes did we make it? All right.
Okay,
but hypothetical that went nowhere. Now look, I have a question. Why is Joe Biden doing this?
Joe Biden is the weakest president to ever be president, and it has to be just from the social outcry of like, oh, bring Brittney back,
re-election.
Or re-election. He wants to get re-elected to get that vote.
It will vote
I'm
for
not
him.
voting for his
You're
ass.
gonna vote for him, bro.
I'm not voting for his ass. I'm not voting for him at all. And I want Joe Biden to be impeached, because how the fuck do you sit here and tell Americans that they can't own guns and that rifles are should be abandoned? You shouldn't have more than 10 rounds in your clip and all that other type of shit. And then you go ahead and release the most famous arms dealer ever.
Oh,
damn
that's
near
different.
That kills Americans. Like, so you're cool with that, but you're not cool with Americans, righteous citizens protecting themselves against criminals.
I see that, but
come on now.
That's on a military level. That's on a military level, because it's not like he's saying the U.S. like troops shouldn't have guns. So that guy's an arms dealer on a bigger stage.
But you're cool with Americans dying in war, but you're not cool with the civilians that are inside your country trying to protect themselves. But you're saying, no, you can't have that because a 9mm can knock a lung out.
It's a little.
That's what he's saying. He said a 9mm can knock a lung out. No, it can't.
Well, hey, bro, he's scared because his lungs probably don't work.
But he's just saying that shit for the gun control lobbyists, and people are just trying to vote for that shit. And it's like, bro, we can see that through that. It's just hypocritical. I don't like that shit.
I think it's just a little different though, because like international arms dealers versus like school shooting, it's just like such a different ballpark. I still agree about people being able to continue to have guns and whatnot, but yeah, he's for sure trying to get the black vote. There's no doubt about that in my mind. That's why, I mean, the other two have been there and it didn't get as much headlines, so he doesn't really make an effort to get them. Also, we don't know exactly what else is going on, what other talks, but I think there's a reason why he's doing this. But all right, here's the thing. Here's what's interesting, and it's a little off topic. About, they do the census polls of people being happy with Biden, right? Or like if you're happy with the current presidency. It's interesting. I was watching a former CIA spy talk to Lex Friedman about it. He was saying it's just interesting how our country works, because if you're running a country, the most important things are like shelter, food, economy, stuff like that. But we have a more righteous, like Western belief where we think we need to help so many other people. And Biden did the most for Ukraine. He put up so much money, right? And people were an outcry before that saying he needs to do something. Someone needs to help. This is so bad. And he's done that, right? Even before this, the Brittney Griner stuff. But let's see, we could even add that on. He's done that. But like, people still aren't happy with him because they're more upset about gas prices. When they do those censuses, we don't really like, we want to get on the rah-rah on Instagram and say like, you need to do this. This is the right thing to do. We need to get involved. And we feel like we can tell the leader of the country what he needs to get involved in. But then even though he does that, we actually more care about stuff that affects us, which technically should make sense as you're talking about being a thriving country. Yeah. But we have this Western righteous belief where we just want to think of the good in the world and what good we need to do. But when it actually comes to our vote and our stance and our happiness, we're more concerned with things that actually impact us, like our gas tanks every day. Let's drive EV.
I mean, but okay. Joe Biden would rather give money to other countries than build our own infrastructure. You get what I'm saying? Now, American presidents have been selling this out to other countries for years. It's not like the buck stops with Joe Biden, but I feel like that's where the issue with Joe Biden comes in, because it's like, why are you giving money to gender studies in Iran versus your country, which is on fire right now?
Are you serious? He put money into gender studies in Iran?
Yeah, and it was like millions, like maybe billions of dollars. We talked about it.
That one kind of makes a little bit of sense just because of what's going on in Iran. You know, with the women who got killed for not wearing their hijab properly. That makes a lot of sense to do that, especially like if there's people who are there who's gonna murder women for showing their hair. It's like I understand
but why give $1 billion to a country that their ideology about gender doesn't even match yours? So it's kind of like you're trying to force them on your Western idea of what gender is when they're not even thinking about that. They still have 2 genders in other countries. We're the only country with 7 or 70. So it's like, what type of money are you spending? Are you buying textbooks? What are you buying with that money? What's going on when there's people in America that are starving? Now, like I said, it's not Joe Biden's fault, but still.
But gender studies does not only mean the 7 genders. It could also mean studying men and women. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's just they have a different understanding of men and women versus like American culture. I understand for enforcing. Funny
because you sound mad transphobic right now, dog.
What do you mean?
But it's cultural though. It has to do with their religion and their beliefs. So it's like, how do you change that? Like, what money can make you change your religion? Where it's
there's so much outrage out here for that situation that's going on out there. Right, and America is the big dogs. Anytime shit goes down, it's like us going out to help the countries. We're known for that. And this is a hard time for us where gas prices are up, cost of living is up, inflation is going crazy. This is one of the reasons people are like, oh, why should we help other countries? Because we've been doing it for so long. And that's the other side of the argument.
But that's the thing. People want to help other countries, but we don't actually care as it pertains to who we're going to vote for. We're more like, how's the market doing? Yeah. How's the gas? But guys, one takeaway I have from this is Brittney got a really deep voice.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Sometimes when I see that, not to be, judgmental or rude, but sometimes when I see a WNBA player and they got a deep voice, they're pretty muscular, they're very tall, I'm like, yo, they on some hormones or something? Like, they taking something, because how could that voice get so deep? But nah, she been locked up for
in a Russian jail.
She's been smoking
8-9 months, bro. Her voice was mad deep, but man,
it was deep before though.
I was really, exactly. Yeah, but that's why back then you could say, oh, maybe she's on something. Yeah. No, that's just her voice. But man, props to her, bro. Not props to her, but congrats to her. I felt really happy for her when I saw her they were interviewing her while she's in the plane, and she didn't even know where she's going. You could tell she wasn't actually sure that she's free or anything, because they were telling her, don't worry, like, you know where you're going? She's like, no. And like, it just, I felt bad seeing her like just look so innocent and just like so unaware of like what's going on, and like kind of wide-eyed, and it was just different seeing her in that light, because I'm used to seeing her talking about, I'll take what's his name one-on-one. She said she beat DeMarcus Cousins one-on-one. I'm used to seeing this cocky lady. I seen her getting into fights. I seen her beasting, dunking on people. I seen her doing all types of shit. And then it just when you see her like that, I was just so happy for her wife too. And I do appreciate Biden for doing this. I'm just happy that she's able to come home.
Okay, I know I was frustrated with like the why didn't the Marine come first, or why didn't the teacher come out before her because they were locked up there before her. How do you guys feel about that? If Brittney Griner didn't go to Russia, we probably would have never known about the Marine
it raised
or
awareness.
The teacher. It's just like, man, like that is a great point. But at the same time, I just don't think it's fair that she got bumped ahead of everybody else. That's probably my thing. Like, I'm obviously, like, people being in prison for something that seems very minuscule. Obviously, I'm happy that if they do get brought home, because now you get to be with your family and your kids and all of that. But it just seemed like we're prioritizing the wrong things, and that's why and it just feels like we're in this like leftist woke era of feelings, so I feel like you should bring this person back because this is wrong in my eyes, and we're gonna have outrage about it. And I feel like Joe Biden kind of just got bullied into a corner to do that.
Yeah. Okay, quick question. How many points is she averaging next season?
Oh, she finna go off.
She gotta go crazy.
But what if she's like traumatized, dog?
Yeah, I could see that too.
Hell nah, bro. She been over there fighting polar bears and shit.
She's fighting the Demogorgon.
She's gonna have to take some time to get her body right, though. Honestly, I hope she don't get injured. Honestly,
bro, she's probably stronger now. What are you talking about,
bro? I don't know. I think she was just locked up, like not able to. Nah,
they had
to
do a labor.
Oh,
yeah, because she was in one prison, and then they took her to this like really rough, like heavy induced like laborious prison. So it's like you're working on train tracks and shit like that.
But even that's not getting your body.
She
right,
probably know how to talk shit in Russian now. She knows some Russian cuss words.
Her ass never going back to Russia, bro. She's never going back. She probably so traumatized.
She about to be cooking them girls.
Props to her though, bro. Glad to see her back. And yeah, you're right. It raises awareness, but it's still not fair that she got bumped. But it does in turn raise awareness, and hopefully they're able to come back. But you're right, you're definitely right. Like they've been there for longer than her, and just because they don't have the notoriety, people don't pay attention. Because that's why we're just righteous fucks. Like we just want to have some shit we could post on Instagram and act righteous, like we care. And you always got all these white girls telling the president what he got to do. Like, shorty, you didn't even graduate college yet, bro. Like you ain't even had a job. You never even helped the economy. Like you're telling the fucking leader of our whole nation. Like that's the difference between us and other places, bro. They know their place a little more. Me, I know my place. I'm like, fam, I've never written any legislation, fucking read any legislation. I'm not in tune with what goes on. I don't know fucking how, like, I don't have enough opinion to be like, Biden, get off your ass and do something. Like, bitch, you don't know how running a nation works.
And one of the biggest things, it's like, we're always outraged about things we can't control versus the things that we can. And that's what we use. Okay, since we can't control the things that are happening in the world, let's say global warming or these policies that are going on, but now the thing that you do have in control, just like, I'm gonna just speak about it on Instagram. I'm gonna just speak about it in front of my friends.
Everyone can know how righteous I am. Yeah, and the president will not see this message. No way, no how.